Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. You see it. You see the title of this show, the Karen Reed case. This case has the trial has been going on for 6 weeks. It ended in a mistrial. Y'all, let's go ahead and read this article real quick because if you've been on Verdict Watch, you have been watching this. You've been on Verdict Watch since I think Thursday. They did their closing arguments. Friday, the jury went in and deliberated. The jury was hopelessly they were deadlocked in. The judge said that they didn't have enough time to deliberate. They had them come back in today. Excuse me. And they deliberated today and they just got through. They did a whole day of deliberation and they came back and said that they were hopelessly deadlocked and that they could not make a decision. So let me share my screen really, really quick so you can see. All right. So this is an article by the AP. There is video. You could go to Court TV or Law and Order. They have the actual trial. I'm just looking back here, but if you look at this, this is John O'Keefe's brother. He is literally the last sibling living from that family, and that's his wife that's sitting next to them. His wife sitting next to her, and John O'Keefe was taking care of his sister's children, whose sister she died of cancer, and then he was killed. So let's read this article real quick. A judge declared a mistrial Monday after jurors deadlocked in a case of Karen Reed, a woman accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend by striking him with her SUV and leaving him in a snowstorm. A case that drew outsized, I mean, huge attention. Thanks to true crime fanatics, conspiracy theories, and Reed's pink shirted supporters. Prosecutors said in a statement that they intend to retry. Reed, a former adjunct professor at Bentley College, faced second-degree murder and other charges in the death of John O'Keefe, a 16-year-old member of the Boston police force who was found outside a Canton home of another Boston police officer in January 2022. Uh, Autopsy found that O'Keefe died of hypothermia and blunt force trauma to his head. Prosecutors said Reed and O'Keefe had been drinking heavily before she dropped him off at a party at the home of Brian Albert, a fellow officer. They said she hit him with her SUV before driving away. The defense sought to portray Reed as the victim, saying O'Keefe was actually being killed inside Albert's home and then dragged outside and left for dead. They argued that investigators focused on Reed because she was a convenient outsider who saved them from having to consider other suspects, including Albert and other law enforcement officers at the party. On Friday, a jury four-person told the judge that they hadn't reached a unanimous verdict despite an exhaustive review of the evidence. Now, if you're confused about the evidence and you're confused about any of those things, um, I'll just continue to reading to the end of this, and then I'll talk about that really, really quick. It said a jury four-person told the judge that they hadn't reached a unanimous verdict despite an exhaustive review of the evidence. The judge on Monday morning, jurors said that they were at an impasse. The judge kept telling them to continue, and then this afternoon they said it would be futile to continue. It says here, and this is a quote from the jury. A deep division is not due to a lack of effort or diligence, but rather a sincere adherence to our individual principles or moral convictions, the jury said in a note read by the judge. Bless her heart. John O'Keefe's mother cried after the mistrial was declared, while Reed hugged her father and other residents. Now, so let's get. Oh, we got a quote from the defense attorney. It says they failed. They failed miserably, and they'll continue to fail, no matter how long it takes. This is Alan Jackson. No matter how long it takes, no matter how long they keep trying, we will not stop fighting. He told reporters outside. So, it was literally the battle of the experts because you had the experts in the on the prosecution side that came up with a scenario on how John O'Keefe was killed. And to me, if they had anything, the more plausible one would have been a side swipe, that he was, that she had sideswiped him. But I don't know if they had planned what the motive was for him, for him sideswiping him. I don't remember a clear and concise thing. Um, the medical examiner said that he died from the blunt force trauma to his head and the hypothermia. John O'Keefe had marks on his arm. The experts say that some of the coroner said that they were abrasions from hitting the car. Another expert, the defense's expert, said that those were dog bites. I've heard on YouTube there was some dog bite specialists that were talking about that they appeared to be dog bites. There was a lot of stunt shows and shenanigans going on in this case, with people with dogs being rehoused, with the owner of the home selling the home, with witnesses in the case doing excessive butt dialing. There were witnesses in the case uh getting rid of evidence. It was a whole lot of stunt shows and shenanigans on this case. But I do wanted to just go back and say that it is a mistrial, and we do see that they will prosecutors said that they will continue to they will retry this case. So they're supposed to meet back at the end of this month to set another trial date, so they'll get back into setting to reviewing this case. I will say this, one of the things, the stunt shows and shenanigans that went on with this case, is that the lead investigator had a personal relationship with the owner of the home where John O'Keefe's body was found outside. He happened to be very good friends with him. And so that was a conflict of interest that was put out there in the case. And also, he was looking for nude photos and all kinds of things like that on the defendant, Karen Reed. You have one witness that was trying to date Karen Reed, and he also used government resources outside the scope of his job, and he got called out on testimony uh, while he was on the stand. You have people who were inside of the house, particularly Gene McCabe, who had done a Google search. How long does it take for someone to die out in the cold? This was at 2 o'clock. So that the investigation, there was a lot of question with the investigation, to the point where the feds are now involved in this, particularly with the lead about evidence tampering, using government resources outside the scope of an investigation. It's a whole lot of stuff. But I just wanted to come on here really quick and just to kind of go over what was going on in that Karen Reed case. We will see a retrial. What do you all think? Have you been following the case? I've just been following it because, like, I came in it on the second week, and I just felt like I didn't have enough to just sit here and to follow it. But we do have the Rust case coming up, with the Alec Baldwin coming up, and I'm going to be watching that and reviewing that, giving weekly, day by day, weekly reviews on that. So, what do y'all think? Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell your coworker, tell that helper that you can't stand that I am over here making these videos, and y'all, Karen Reed is have to go back. I'm curious of a couple of things, and y'all let me know. Do you think because of the high profile case this was in that particular city, do you think that they're going to change the venue? That would be interesting, because I don't think that they can change it to Boston, with the Boston police off, with that being a very heavy pro police town. Um, I'm curious. I'm curious as to what the feds are going to come up with. I think that if I was the defense, I would be definitely being in contact with the feds to see what in the world that they're doing, to see where they end up on this case, and whether or not that, if there is some kind of uh, investigation or a indictment of the people working on this investigation, I definitely would want to be able to put that information into this court here in my hearing. Again, as always, people. Bye bye.